Like Luna Meow. Why is that logo on Luna Meow? They did not win that map, but it's fine. And we will be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Hey, you guys. I love you guys in the back. There you go. Tomb of the Spider Queen as we descend into the
really
tomb.
Hope spiders don't crawl across this floor thing. That would be really...
That would be
upsetting.
next level.
I like that. It's a new Heroes game show as you announce Tomb of the Spider Queen. Descending.
Spiders.
It's like Nickelodeon gunking.
It's not Halloween.
Like, no! No!
HGC spidering you.
That's right.
Oh.
Sky Temple, just sand. I'm like... Anyway, what do you think about Tomb of the Spider Queen coming into this?
When we brought up the maps before, right, and I kind of got them backwards, I figured Tomb was going to be a problem in this series. But much like the last map, Dragonshire, wave clear oriented, it's going to be less about the kill potential. I mean, obviously having successful ganks is going to be nice, but as this stands right now, I look at this and I go, HeroesHearth has got to be very, very comfortable. Second best battleground for them. Yep. Again, wave clear oriented. I look at this and I go, remove the comforts, rinse and repeat. You've got yourself 3 points. All
right, into the draft. Game number 2 here. HeroesHearth currently leads 1-0 in this best of 2.
I'm actually really interested to see if this trend continues. Now, I was wondering, where would HeroesHearth go? I didn't actually believe that in the first series, Luna Meow would ban away one of their most prevalent heroes, but coming into this one, it looks like they value the Genji more than the Garrosh. Does that mean KT4 just snap locks in that Garrosh? He's hesitating for the meantime, but I wouldn't be unopposed to teams in situations like this. Yeah. Look, let's just play heroes that we're good at. Let's play heroes that we're comfortable with. Why just try and throw out a wild card? Let's just do what we've done well all season long.
HeroesHearth's #1 ban over the entire season has been Genji for good reason, and they do know their opponents are quite good fit. So it is a solid first ban for them, but I am actually very surprised to expand on your point that we are not just seeing an instant Garrosh pick.
I mean, there's a point that could be made right for HeroesHearth that against the Genji comp, if you feel like you are the more dominant team, let it through, let Bowie 005 play it, and you just counter it with either a double support. We've seen them play double support before.
There it is.
The Garrosh does come through in the end, but yeah, I mean, the point about Genji, there are counters towards it. So it's interesting to see which one they value more as a scary factor for them.
There is the potential that this time that they used to lock in that Garrosh could have been spent discussing their next 2 picks.
I would agree.
They were already certain.
No, absolutely.
They have the Garrosh in. And HeroesHearth, they are sticking with what they know, the Malfurion and the ETC coming in, but this time, Luna Meow can get their Stuck off.
I mean, realistically speaking, is there any reason why HeroesHearth would ever deviate from what they just did? It's a different map, of course, it's different objectives, but it just looked so powerful, like, why even bother?
And if you're going to hold true the Li Ming and Mage value priority to be the exact same on the side of Luna Meow, then you sit in a position where you can ensure either a Gul'dan or Jaina in the hands of Crowan in post-secondary ban phase, which normally in this type of circumstance, you wouldn't be able to do so. So again, it's a bit of a maybe kind of call-out, judging by the trends we got out of that last draft.
I want to see a Stukov now, but they're actually not even going to do that. They're going to go with an Oriole, which is interesting because they discussed they believe Oriole is very strong at the moment.
We've heard murmurs.
Yeah.
We have.
Whispers,
but we didn't hear the whisper with, you know, the Shimada brother.
No,
it was the old school, bringing it back. But yeah, there's been a lot of rumors here at the midseason Brawl, ladies and gentlemen, of, you know, at least 2/3 of the Holy Trifecta coming back.
And they have kept this secret very well because they didn't play it at all during their qualifying games, at least the ones that we have recorded. So they've managed to bring this out very unexpectedly. Will Hanzo be enough of a hope generator, though?
At this point, I would be looking at, if he isn't, right, then Gul'dan has got to be that next one. So then be looking to that kind of priority maybe by HeroesHearth Esports. But I might be slightly incorrect with that. Give me a moment here.
I can kind of get on board with it. Gul'dan is still
I like
gone,
the Gul'dan ban.
but he would have been pretty decent on this map. Very easy for him to stack.
I just wanted to double check real quick because I was like, I don't know, you know, maybe there's a world where Garnet Devil can flex over into the Hanzo, but yeah, we have 0 data on that. So then that is a very heads-up ban coming out from HeroesHearth. Removing that, you can expect a Jaina to be picked up here in the next rotation, I feel like, from them. And again, this is exactly what HeroesHearth went into this draft hoping to see. The only wild card is the Ariel, and I don't think that's something they look at and they go, how do we deal with this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look at what else they could really do for a hope generator. I mean, Lunara potentially, depending on what assassins we see from HeroesHearth.
Yep.
Another one that could, in theory, work for hope generation, Phoenix with AoE or Junkrat for the same reason.
I like it. At least they're getting the call out here.
Yeah.
Garnet Devil actually has in the past, he's played Kel'Thas. Now Kel'Thas has been changed. He's played Pyroblast Kel'Thas, right?
Wonderful.
This guy will bring you some power, right? You got Shimada brothers bringing Shimada power. So I would not be unopposed to that with the Ignite giving a little bit of value. Maybe it's quite negligible compared to other heroes, but still. It used to be a go-to pick. Let's not forget that,
Yeah,
right?
it was quite different back when it was a go-to.
Well, I mean, still, but
I
there
guess
was
the
a
straight
point.
problem is Crystal Aegis in that situation. Okay, thanks.
I will tell you, I've definitely heard some rumors about the kind of hype of the adjustments that Kel'Thas possibly bring him back because his playstyle is niche in the sense that he provides poke that doesn't exist outside of heroes like Hanzo in the game currently as it stands with a hard crowd control follow-up. That in mind, I don't think this is it has to be by any means.
absolutely
I'm on board with it.
Yeah, I absolutely could as well. I think it provides a lot of threat. But instead, it's going to be a Lunara pickup.
I like that. Stealing it away. If you feel comfortable going into the slow game, especially on a map that can go very long like Tomb, steal that away from your opponents, because that is, right now, with Gul'dan gone, the #1 hope generator outside of Cho'Gall taken away.
And of course, Lunara, as much as she's very different now because of the rework, and this is something that I wanted to talk about earlier, but our pre-game is only 10 minutes long. We can't talk about everything. But this was one of the maps where she really rose in prominence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, and poking and prodding and being able to stall out in the long fights around the turn-in points, especially post 15 minutes into the match, is absolutely insane to be able to deal with. That in mind, I think that might have been, I don't think a misplay that would be punished here by the draft of Meow, but I do I have some fears with nobody has any execution at all on HeroesHearth. Yes, they have a lot of macro, a lot of control. If you nope out into a Tassadar, Ariel with a Hanzo and a nice generator, get a little bit of macro pressure, make it to the later stages of the game, your ability to trade in that Lunara is extremely high. And with a lot of the kind of executioners removed with the Genji ban as well, I feel like that'd be a pretty smart play here. They don't do that though, gonna stick a little, a bit more traditional and go with the Junkrat, nice wave clear there, and we're gonna have Virgil there on the Sonya.
Sonya's not a bad hat target, to be honest.
Not the worst. We'll be able to generate a fair chunk when she's circling through all of her different abilities. I'm a little bit concerned that this isn't the draft, once again, that they want to really bring some pain and pressure towards it. Namely, for me, that what screams to mind is the Lunara with the slowing ability on both Sonya and Garrosh. It's just going to kite them. They're going to look to try and sort of force those fights out, unless they can try and get a good detainment strike or good concussion mine by Junkrat to really force their own hand and create an opportunity out of thin air. I feel like Meow may struggle here.
Can they win out on poke?
Potentially, if they can get to the late game, Junkrat does outrange Lunara by a fairly significant amount. If they can get to the late game with decent stacks and cannonballs, then their poke damage could be good until that happened.
Yeah.
Ming is going to give a huge amount of counter poke onto the front line, which right now, Sonya, she is a decent front line. She could do okay. Garrosh, though, if he can't get near and just gets kited himself, especially with the slows that can be applied from Blaze and Lunara herself, there could be severe problems in just engaging from Meow.
I mean, halfway through that draft, and we've known Crone to have a phenomenal Li Ming from very, very long ago, even during his first stint in HGC, when then disappeared and then rose back through the ranks. But we know, and you knew halfway through that draft, that there was always the potential of that Li Ming.
Yeah, the only reason that you would ever suggest why you wouldn't go into that, right, is too much into the Mage Avenue. If you commit the Lunara and the Li Ming, and that's why I was saying with the Genji taken away, I feel like if they had committed to a slower playstyle, they can deal with the double Mage. You can't deal with a Mage auto attacker and anybody with the execution, but enough were taken off the table. I thought there was a little bit of leeway into the draft, but we knew Meow was going to stick to what they knew, and so far HeroesHearth has done the same. It just turns out HeroesHearth, so far at least, has come out on top.
It's time for predictions.
Much like Nexomania, I gotta go for Lunara. I'm going for HeroesHearth.
I went with Sonya, but
You're wrong.
I think the punishment potential, and namely what I was talking about before, with the slowing capacity that they can really output onto Garrosh and Sonya. For me, HeroesHearth once again had the superior draft.
Same. HeroesHearth has got to feel very, very comfortable. I feel like everything went according to plan. They put in research and not a single hairball minus maybe that Ariel. I guess curveball, not hairball. It's a little bit weirder.
yeah, you're a strange guy.
There's spiders, there's cats. What other animal kingdom are we in, right?
It's going to have to be Four Flames again, I think. I'm going to have to go with HeroesHearth as well when it comes to this draft, as it looks like they're in a very, very good spot. So let's check in with the casters again. Gilly and Trick. What are you thinking about this Tomb of the Spider Queen game?
Ooh, well, double displace of Garrosh and Junkrat seems kind of fun. I'm excited that Meow got more of their comforts, but so too did HeroesHearth.
I mean, I root for any team that has Garrosh, honestly. I feel like that character is ridiculous when it comes to the main tank, so I'll be keeping an eye on them.
Is this what you have to deal with, like on a weekly basis?
Yeah, no, it's pretty tough. You know, sometimes you just nod and smile.
I got strong opinions, man. I'm going to throw them out there. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm going to throw them out there.
All right, guys. Well, have fun.
Thank you very much, Caleris. Now, we were talking a little bit about the Hanzo and the Ariel, and if Hanzo is going to be indeed that target, trying to figure out, with the Hanzo changes coming in, what build are we going to see? I thought it'd be Redemption for the auto attack speed bonus, but then again, with the auto attack nerf, that could be scary.
Yeah, that does worry me a lot. A lot of the main tanks right now actually do a really good job of getting on top of Hanzo if you go for that auto attack build because of that range reduction that you were talking about. So if we go that route, sure, you'll be able to chunk out a lot of hope there for Ariel, but you put yourself at a risk. So we'll see what happens here. On the left side in the blue, it's going to be HeroesHearth as Ishbu, BBJ, McIntyre, Arthlon, and Crowan come out to show up.
McIntyre back on the solo laner, so it must be hero dependent when we see that swap happen for HeroesHearth, as it happened throughout part 2. Over in the red, that's going to be Luna Meow, and KT4, he's got to be the one to watch for this game, being on the Garrosh. Like I said, he was 11-0, and then every other tank just one game played throughout the Horizon Clash and his regional. This is his comfort pick, and they sacrificed a lot to make sure to get it. It was their first pick, so it means that they have to be getting the kills and the picks with it.
We'll see if he's able to find those picks. So far, HeroesHearth plays it well. If you're ever playing against a Garrosh, do not check the bushes until your main tank walks in. Ishbu controls the top side, and the rest of HeroesHearth plays safe and starts to poke from afar. And that's where I get very excited to see Crowan here. Back on the Li Ming. Well, he made his name on Li Ming. Became a tracer one trick for a little bit, but has danced around. And I love to see this guy playing Li Ming as he just knows how to find those opportunities to get kills, get resets, and destroy his opponents.
Oh, and this might be the first one. A great root just set up allows Ishbu to be the follow-up damage, but that's KT4 on the Garrosh. The armor up keeps him alive even with the orb coming out. Luna Meow, though, if they can start to get their wave clear going with that Junkrat and start to be able to get control of the lanes, sometimes HeroesHearth makes very aggressive rotations, and Luna Meow likes to set traps. So it may be the perfect storm of a situation where Luna Meow can try to get that early game momentum that, as we talked about in the last game, very crucial to them.
I feel like look at that control at level 4, but hang on here. As HeroesHearth is going for an aggressive gank, as you just mentioned, they run down to Virgil, and Virgil on the Sonya gets picked off. First blood once again for HeroesHearth as they repeat what they did in game number 1. Now, back to the earlier point, when does that control come in from Luna Meow? At level 4, explosive arrow coming on for Hanzo, and Junkrat wave clear will be pivotal for Luna Meow to make sure to control those waves. And the moment that you have waves pushing for you, that's when Garrosh gets that control of the bushes.
And it looks like it is, for the moment, at least scatter arrow build going for simple geometry.
It's
and
so much safer.
Right, whether or not it is from the range change or how they want to focus with this Ariel, which Kim right now, by himself up in this top lane, generally not where you want to be with an Ariel, but Bui's going to make this rotation up to help out with that. But like you said, trying to be safer considering the fact that we've already seen BBJ be able to just set up kills with his roots, and then after the fact too, having the follow-up of jet propulsion and ETC should be more than enough to let Lunar and Li Ming seal the deal.
And you got to be careful already. HeroesHearth poking there on Bui, taking some damage. Cam will have to heal him on up. This scatter arrow build also will be great around those night camps in the bottom right corner whenever you're trying to control those corridors. It should make it a little bit hard for HeroesHearth to go for an invade, but also pivotal if Luna Meow wants to go for their own invade, try to take their opponent's mercs at any point. So we'll keep an eye on Bui as 4 does connect. We'll see if he's going to move into the explosive arrow. There it is. That'll help out with the wave clear. HeroesHearth on their side, not looking too crazy when it comes to their own picks when it comes to talents. And look in the bottom lane. Virgil, once again, being bodyblocked. Gosh, McIntyre playing so well there. Goes in with the jet propulsion, but Virgil gets out.
Bui and Kim rotated in. Kim was trying to come in with a full health bar to ensure they could heal Virgil back up. I wanted to talk a little bit about new Lunara because this is the first time that we're seeing her with her rework. And with moving Nature's Culling to 4, you can now still get that without having to sacrifice Splintered Spear, and we're seeing Arthlon choose that here. So he'll be able to do a lot more structural damage, help out with the siege, but also with the defense of any yikes!
Whoa.
Of any of the web weavers that Luna Meow gets.
Beautiful kill there as Junkrat gets taken out. 2 kills going over to HeroesHearth, and now they'll have the opportunity to go in for a turn-in, and they have enough gems to do so. KT4 trying to slow this down as much as they can. Bui as well coming in with a poke, but 14 gems have been dropped off, while Blaze at the same time sees that Sony rotates the middle, so he decides to continue pushing out that bottom lane.
Something that I learned in watching Dread and Jayhow talk about HeroesHearth Esports on Tomb the Spider Queen is the HeroesHearth Classic, which is when they rotate McIntyre up to the top turn-in point. That's when they say it's time for our web weavers to start up. But actually, they've pushed this bottom lane out so far, and they see so many of Luna Meow up to the top, they're not even going to need to do that. He just drops it off in the bottom, and now they're just 6 gems away from getting those web weavers.
And something to point out, too, is Luna Meow has lost out on some gems due to a couple of kills, also being zoned out in that bottom lane with the Sonya being ganked constant, and they have yet to even put a single gem in the turn-in. HeroesHearth right now taking a massive lead. If they get that turn-in with this talent advantage, I could see them playing for turret walls and hitting level 10, 1 to 2 levels over their opponent.
and then get a second turn in behind that,
Oh,
snowball the
gets worse.
map. All of a sudden, you're dealing with keep pressure very early in the game. Not at all where Luna Meow wants to be. What can Luna Meow do around this, though? Is it that they need to get 7 and try to force the fight behind a Web Weaver somewhere, or just try to clear them out as quickly as possible?
Yeah, they really got to start clearing it out. Luckily, they do have Hanzo and Junkrat, and again, they still have that Garrosh factor. Has been a bit of a non-factor so far. KT4 usually able to find kills by now.
Yeah, he's been a lot more fun. Well, great mind on
speaking of
Arthon
kills.
after the fact they finally find exactly what they need, and just as HeroesHearth Web Weavers descended, the timing could not have been better there.
That is just a beautiful from them Meow. That should help them with the wave clear now. They can go ahead and focus on just getting rid of these Web Weavers, which means HeroesHearth being down a member, especially Lunara. It'll be a little bit harder for them to push in and get too much experience off of this. A good kill by Luna Meow, even threatening another one here on ETC, but Ishbu doing a really good job at making sure to hold that front line.
Right, as long as you've got ETC on the front, he's the best target for the throw. It's not really ideal. You can use it to force out a power slide so that he's not getting onto your backline. And in this instance, we've seen KT4 do that quite a lot. There's a lot of risky backliners, but another mine finds its mark. Now he might be able to throw him back in, and he does. An Indomitable was used for that. KT4 falling low, so is Ish, but it might just be a flat-out tank trade as it is.
Virgil comes in, but misses the spear. Had they hit that on McIntyre, Bowie could have followed up the scatter arrow, and that may have been a kill, but HeroesHearth trades out 1 for 1 there as ETC gets displaced by a Junkrat and then thrown by a Garrosh. Ishbu trying to power surge right through there before he got thrown, but sadly missed out on the timing, and that was a kill. 9.5 here for HeroesHearth, 8.5 for Luna Meow, so while they do find their own kills themselves, still trailing when it comes to experience.
It's a very short stall, and having the Wisp for Arthalon allows them to keep an eye on the top turn-in while most of them are situated around the bottom turn-in, so they can just keep an eye on Luna Meow for a little bit longer. As soon as they get heroic abilities, Luna Meow have to be backing off. We already see them starting to do so back to their forts, and this should give enough time for HeroesHearth Esports to once again push these lanes out and start turning in for the next Web Weavers.
Speaking about Sonya too, another gank here on the bottom lane.
Every
McIntyre goes in, goes with the body blocks, drops down the bunker just to make sure no cheeky kill could happen there, and they find another pick on Sonya. 3 deaths so far for her, having a really poor laning phase.
Every time we look at this bottom lane, McIntyre is on the other side of Virgil. Virgil's like, can you please just let me go back to my base? And you know, when you whirlwind, you're able to get through those, so I think it's just the fact that Virgil's getting too far out and then whirlwinding, and then McIntyre is just straight up taking advantage of that after the fact. Hopefully we'll see that go better for Virgil into later on, but for now, HeroesHearth are looking toward those Web Weavers yet again.
And look at the build too. When we saw Arthlon in the last game, we saw a little bit more survivability.
Yeah.
Sonya, we're going a bit more aggressive.
Right.
Auto attacks, coming in with that spear at level 7, looking to get the extra damage on that front line, which is helpful because that makes it easier for Junkrat and Hanzo to find those kills later on. But if you get picked off, you get picked off.
It's very Luna Meow-esque, right?
Yes.
They're all about the fights. That's what they want to go for. The problem is just that they have to go so early game because otherwise they start falling behind the macro game, and then they're not advantageous team fights, or at least not on even footing. And there it is, the Blue Web Weavers yet again.
They are falling behind again. The same story for Luna Meow that we saw in game number 1. Now, good news, again, they're level 10 here. They can force the engage at any point. They now have the Dragon's Arrow, and the Riptire is always a great zoning tool and also great damage. But a stage dive in the back line on top of Hanzo. He gets rooted, able to jump out. Kim trying to keep him alive, but members are low here for Luna Meow.
There's the Crystal Aegis. Crowan jumps on top of that with the Calamity. They've got a bunker body blocking, but KT4 will make it out okay. I thought that maybe the start. They're caught in a
43 gems!
43 gems go down, and Ishbu is keeping them from picking up a majority of them now. Luna Meow lose 2 more picks alongside the Web Weavers of HeroesHearth, which means HeroesHearth is even freer to siege down some of these towers. Ishbu as the gate goes down, power slides in, another combo, and another kill.
HeroesHearth is destroying right now. All hope for Luna Meow was on that Ariel, and that was saved a little bit by Garrosh, and then the hope fell completely onto him, and then he gets picked off. HeroesHearth is ripping away a win here away from Luna Meow.
An Ariel with no hope is no win at all, as straight up Crowan just obliterates the Hanzo. Now Virgil is finding himself in danger again. He runs away and makes it back this time, but HeroesHearth transitions around a mine straight into the bunker for McIntyre, allows for the escape of HeroesHearth. Early, less than 10 minutes into this game, they've already taken out a keep. It feels like the map is theirs.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, just look at it. The blue side of the map is completely intact. Luna Meow on the other side, as you mentioned, a keep missing in the middle. That means Catapult to be pushing consistently. Luckily, it is the middle lane, so that is controllable, but look at the experience lead. That is really telling the story right now. 14-11. HeroesHearth is absolutely stomping, and here's the next thing, too. Not a single gem has been turned in for Luna Meow, and they only have 20 on them.
But Luna Meow find an ETC. And
Cool,
while
find
that
some gems,
doesn't,
though.
it doesn't do anything at all for you to get back in the game, it's some momentum. It's a deep breath in this game, that Heroes Hearth.
They gotta make a power play.
Lets them get a boss.
They're going for it. Jumping straight on top of it, they'll burn it down. They do have Hanzo here. Piranha, he doesn't have the level 4 that typically helps out with clearness, but it's still pretty decent.
Junkrat's coming in. He'll put a mine on the point if he makes it in. Actually, he's just looking to see if he can zone along with KT4 from the side. There's the boss.
Great damage right there from Kim. That's going to be the boss. They needed that. Riptire comes out. Arthur trying to be on the back line. Here comes the stage dive as well from ETC. Going straight for Kim here on the side. KT4 also low on health. Ages the last second, but it's not going to be enough. Easy reset here for Crowan as he turns around, drops an orb, goes for a Calamity, and he's popping off.
Crowan gets the second one too. Wave of Force over the wall, claims a third. Virgil and Bowie are not going anywhere here. Crowan,
they have families.
We're looking at it possible. No, make it real. Team wipe for Heroes Hearth Esports.
Crowan destroying the team fight. ETC coming in with the money stage dive. One sectioning off the Ariel, as well as making Garrosh be in a weird position so Arthur could pick him down. And then Crowan just came in and he did the Crowan show. Beautiful play by him. They move straight in for a keep, and we'll see if they'll go even further here. If they'll even want to look at a core. It is a bit early in the game here, 10 minutes, but double catapults, I'll take it.
Fairly low on resources, at least when you look at the mana from them. That tends to happen when you have a Crowan reset all the way through a team. So they'll be okay with just sacrificing a fort potentially to this boss and then getting a secondary keep for increased catapult pressure. They did have a double talent tier advantage with 16 to 12, but they also have a lot of gems behind this, and they have all the control in this. They can play this slowly.
Luna Meow, it is getting desperate for them. Certainly here. They may have to make another power play like we just saw earlier on that boss. I don't know where they're going to find it, though. It's going to come down to a Dragon's Arrow, and then somehow Garrosh gets a great engage on one target or multiple targets where they try to have Sonya in the fight with a Whirlwind. That's where I see them actually coming back. But so far, Heroes Hearth is controlling space well. Consistently, ETC is checking in those bushes. You have Wisp constantly coming in from Arthlon to make sure no ganks are coming their way. Heroes Hearth is taking this lead and holding it.
2 more gems is exactly what they have as Arthlon's chasing down Virgil. KT4 is going to come from the side here, but Arthlon already gets that with the stage dive. Kim is now in danger as well as KT4. Flip over, but BBJ is just fine right in the middle of Heroes Hearth. This is where he wants to be, even if he needed to use Tranquility, and McIntyre keeping him safe from the backline. 2 kills now as the Web Weavers come in. Heroes Hearth looking to get some experience, looking to maybe even finish out this game now as they still have a massive lead.
Yeah, they are definitely going to be looking for this W here, opening up the keep wall automatically. Following behind there are Giants here that are nice and healthy. And then as you mentioned, the Web Weavers finally coming in. This should at least be a keep. And if someone falls right now, it is definitely going to be a core. Luna Meow is playing as safe as they can, poking where they can, waiting for Garrosh so they have one last ditch attempt at defense.
And any kill seals the fate of Heroes Hearth in this series. This is a must-win for both of these teams looking to make it out of the groups.
You gotta pop it out now, Garnet Devil. Engage comes in. There's a taunt. Target's locked down. Finally, their tire comes out, but it looks like it's a little bit too late. Garrett's already down. Virgil trying to hold his front line. He'll spin to win here, but the core, it's fallen already, Gilly.
Well done on that bunker to make sure that everyone could stay healthy from Heroes Hearth while they just systematically take down this core, one auto attack, one ability at a time. Heroes Hearth Esports wins this first best of 2 of the mid-season brawl versus Luna Meow.
Well-deserved play there. Great win from Heroes Hearth as they were able to control Luna Meow. It felt like they never had a situation where they were ever in control. Just constantly, HGC would come in and say, you know what, ETC is controlling this bush, we have constant vision of you. Sonya, again on the sideline, having a really hard time. It seems like HGC finds a target on the opposing team and just picks on them over and over, and it worked both times.
Right, whether in draft, when it comes to Comfort Heroes, they clearly showed that their research was good versus Luna Meow, or even in the game. That solo lane really did spell a disaster for Luna Meow. It pulled a lot of resources for them. Sonya going down so much allowed McIntyre to get a lot of free push, and then just the fact that they had such an easy time of getting that first turn in, I think Heroes Hearth, as soon as they had those first 50 gems, were like, this is going to be a win for us.
Yeah, a bit too strong here. Heroes Hearth coming out and doing well at the MSB. Let's go ahead and go over to the panelists and see what they thought about that game.
That's right. Strong start from Heroes Hearth.